Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube episode. Today we are going to do bulking on a budget. I'm going to show you how to bulk for $100 a week. Yes, $100 a week for a week's worth of food. So it's roughly about 3,000 calories a day. We're gonna get that with $100. I know heading into winter, we wanna get nice and fluffy and insulated, so we're nice and massive for summer. And I'm also mindful that in the current climate, food is super, super expensive. So I'm gonna show you how $100 can go a long, long way. It's the best. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna start off with our bananas here first. So when establishing a meal plan, especially in off season, you don't wanna be skipping out on any fruit and veg. You wanna keep a lot of color in your diet, so make sure you're hitting enough fruit and enough veg, because one, that's gonna make sure we have a lot of fiber in our diet and support that micronutrients, which is gonna support that digestion. So don't skip out on your fruit and veg. Right, we just can't be eating chicken and rice 7 times a day. So we're gonna pick up some bananas here. A banana a day keeps the doctor away. Go with these 2 kilo potatoes here. So when you're also selecting food, it's super important that the great thing about potatoes is there's different types of potatoes, like red. We're not using potatoes. We're using pasta. I just realized. So
I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Potatoes off, you don't need potatoes. But anyway, it's good. Potatoes can be used in either a bulking phase or a fat loss phase, which is really good. So if you're in a bulking phase, you can use, all-round washed potatoes. But if you are in a fat loss phase, I actually recommend all my clients to be using Spudlight, which is actually 25% less carbs. Or you can be using charisma potatoes as well, which is a little bit lower in carbs. But we don't need potatoes today because we're in a bulk, so don't worry about that. So I've got the lean beef mince here, guys. So it's super important. The meat is normally what's gonna cook your budget the most. So it's about picking, if you're on a budget, it's about selecting, maybe you can't select free range or organic. So you might have to select lean beef mince. Like lean mince is the best way to get, your protein in that's nice and cheap. As long as you're not selecting, macro range or free range. So we'll go with lean beef mince here. If you really wanted to save, you could, which is like 90-10. If you really wanted to save, you could go 82-18, and you actually can just pat the fat out. When you cook it, you can just use a paper towel to pat the fat out and drain the fat if you wanted to save a little bit more. But today, with our budget, we're gonna use 90-10. We've just bought 1.5 kilos there, so that should last us 7 meals across the whole week. Same sort of thing with our chicken breast, guys. So we've got chicken breast, it's a staple in every single diet. If you're wanting to bulk and you want a little bit more higher fats and your calories a little bit higher, you can actually go for a thigh fillet, but we're gonna go for a breast fillet today, which was about 1.5 kilos. It's about $15. Again, if you compare that to say, your free range stuff, you've got here $15 for a kilo. So it is a little bit of a difference. Like, to be honest, if you can afford free range, I would always go free range, less hormones in it and everything like that. But if you are on a budget, like if you're a uni student or you just want to save a little bit of money, just go with the standard Woolies range will be good. So we want to be things that are like, in terms of steak, it's pretty hard to fit in because steak is quite expensive. But if you did want to use steak in your diet, you could be using like lean beef sizzle steak, which is quite lean. We don't have steak in the diet this time, but I know some clients like steak, so you can just chuck in beef sizzle steak, which is really, really super cheap. Like this is like $12 for like 400 grams. So if you buy 2 of those, it's $24, but it will last you the whole week. But that's all we've got for protein. We just need to get some eggs. So we've just picked up our eggs, and now we're just gonna get some oats. So for a week, we need about 100 grams a day. So we'll just get here, again, Woolies oats, super cheap, $1.40. That's going right in. That'll be awesome for brekkie. Yeah, that'll be great. So we'll go on to our next. We've got some honey. Get some honey as well. Yeah, that's like, so we've got our honey. So it's super quick digesting carbs, guys. Really good pre and post workout, and even in the morning as well. So that's gonna help replenish the glycogen nice and quick. We'll get on to all the frozen stuff now, and then we'll get out of here, eh? So again, another quick digesting carb. We're actually going to utilize this pre-workout. So we'll grab 2 here. Rice cake, super easy to digest. So we'll have that and a bit of honey before our pre-workout to fuel us. We'll move on to the pasta. I thought that was it and we were just gonna get the frozen stuff, but there's pasta. I really should have bought a trolley because my arm is actually quite fucking sore, but yeah, it's all right. We've got pasta now. Again, a great source of carbohydrate, especially if you're on a bulk. It's gonna be a bit slower to digest, not gonna lie, pasta. So we'll use this for our last meal of the day. Great thing about pasta is there's different sort of spirals you can use, so different sort of shapes. Some variety is super important in off season, and we're going home brand today because it's the cheapest. So we'll go penne, and we'll go, you know what, we'll go spirals today, I reckon. So 500 grams of each, and that should settle us for the whole week. So we're just gonna, unless you want to eat plain pasta and mince, we're gonna find the cheapest pasta sauce. We'll go here, chunky. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, traditional or chunky, but we'll go traditional. We've upgraded. We don't have any gold coins, so we're just gonna dual wheel this. Bit of shoulder shrugs. We actually need a second pasta sauce. Pasta sauce is great. It's a really using sauces are really good. It's gonna help keep your food nice and flavorful. If your food isn't flavorful, especially in a bulk, if you don't actually enjoy the food you're eating, you're not gonna friggin' eat it. So using spices, taco mix, pasta sauce, low calorie pasta sauce, even no sugar ketchup, it's a really good way of or even spices, to spice up your food per se. But yeah, it's a good way to make your food palatable. The better it tastes, the more you're gonna eat it. Our next one, I'm Asian, so I love my rice, but rice is a great way it's a great carb source. Especially, I love jasmine rice, a bit more flavor than normal white grain. I actually like to eat sushi rice, but sushi rice is a bit more expensive. So we'll just go with the jasmine today. A kilo of rice goes a long way. I like to weigh everything raw weight, so a kilo is should cover you for about a week. So yeah, should be great. But that's all done for carb sources. We're just onto our frozen veg stuff now. And yeah, I'm just gonna deadlift this off the ground and go. It's frozen veg. Oh shit. So we've got our frozen mixed berries here. Frozen mixed berries, super great, especially if you're on a budget. Especially if you're on a budget. Frozen mixed berries and as well as frozen mixed veg. So we'll come over here. Oh, it's on the other side. Stay away from this. This is frozen chips. Alrighty. So we'll go with our frozen mixed veg as well. It's super great, especially if you're gonna chuck things in a microwave. If you're gonna chuck things in a mic, they're super great. Can be super quick and easy. Just chuck it in your Tupperware, and away you go. So we're just gonna go with our frozen mixed veg here. Again, you remember to keep a lot of color in your food. I see a lot of people when they're bulking, they'll just eat either plain chicken or rice, or just want to hit the macros and not worry about the micros. It's super important that you're hitting your micronutrients as well. So, we've got a good selection of color there with our, we've got a lettuce, we've got a mixed veg, our mixed berries. So we're hitting all bases there. I think that's about it. Let me just check my list. Alrighty, so we've got our natural style Greek yogurt next. Really good. I like to always include a little bit of yogurt in the diet. Great for prebiotic, good for digestion overall. I think it's got prebiotic. Good for your prebiotic or probiotic. I'm not too sure, I always forget. But it's also a great source of protein as well. And it's a good little bit of dessert. If we mix it in with a bit of mixed berries later on, it's a good little snack we can have towards the end of the night. Mate, you're gonna win this is always the funnest part of the shopping. You're like, how do I put shit in without breaking shit? And my dad used to be so anal on certain shit. You gotta have the cold stuff with the cold stuff. So to please the typical wog father, I would always do that. But we'll see if this actually equals $100 here, guys. It should equal close to, if not on the dot. But we'll see how we go. Crunch time now. We'll see if we actually, we'll be all right, I reckon. Yeah, so another bag here. This is like the moment of truth to see if I'm actually bullshitting, whether it's $100 or not. We'll go with the eggs. Oh, it's gonna be close. As if it like picks it for you. It's fucking sick. Oh, mate, we're actually under. There you go, guys. So I'm not bullshitting. $97.03. So you're actually $3. So you actually can go to Macca's and buy 3 frozen Cokes. So guys, we've just wrapped up with our shop, and for $97.05, we have got all this food. So we have our carbs. Here, mixture of quick digesting and slow digesting carbs. We've got our veg and our mixed berries and our fruit for veg and fruit. A bit of fruit is here as well to help us hit our micronutrients. We've got our protein, so we're making those gains stay nice and juicy. We've got a bit of fats as well in that Greek yogurt and our lean beef mince, as well as our eggs. And we've got a nice lean piece of protein here, which is breast fillet. Now, there's 2 things that I haven't included, and that is olive oil and dynamic whey protein powder. Now, here guys, you can actually, about a week, let's just say a month, you buy, say, 1 protein packet. So this is about, say, 2 kilos of protein, is about 55 servings in here. So that's gonna last you roughly 2 months, right? So let's just say it's about, this has cost me about $70. Let's just say roughly we dedicate about $10 a week to both protein powder, $10 to $12 a week for protein powder and olive oil. So that will take the total to just above $108, right? So if you have olive oil, you should have olive oil at home. I would always use olive oil over like canola oil or anything like that, and whey protein powder. It's not a necessity. You can still get enough nutrients with this, but we're gonna just utilize this a little bit. That is all our meals there, guys. So you'll see these prepped up. I'm gonna go all Gordon Ramsay on you guys here in my test kitchen, and then we'll see the end result. We've wrapped it up, guys. We have our full day of eating. We have about 2,880 calories here. So we have meal number 1. We've got 100 grams of oats, 36 grams of whey protein powder, 20 grams of honey, and 125 grams of mixed berries, totaling at 658 calories. Meal 2, which is our pre-workout meal. We've got 4 rice cakes, 20 grams of honey, and 1 banana. Our third meal, so our post-workout meal, we've got a scoop of whey protein. Meal number 4 is 3 eggs, 100 grams of raw jasmine rice, and 200 grams of chicken breast. You've also got a bit of veg in there. You've got mixed veg and also a little bit of lettuce. For meal 5, so our dinner meal, you've got a massive lettuce bowl here, as well as some pasta and mince. You've got approximately 80 grams of pasta in there and 200 grams of mince, totaling at 633 calories. We also have a little bit of pasta sauce in there as well, about 100 grams of pasta sauce, because we want to make sure it tastes nice and flavorful. Meal number 5, so our last meal of the day, meal number 6, so our last meal of the day, we've got 250 grams of Greek yogurt, 100 grams of mixed berries, and a little bit of honey in that meal there as well. So you can see here, guys, this will last you 7 days. We've worked out roughly how much each food is. So this is the tally of the food we just bought. This will all last you 7 days. So a whole week's worth of food here. So you've got, this is day 1, day 2 would look exactly the same. So as you can see, guys, it's a fair little bit of food here. It's about 2,888 calories, 84 calories. And with more, you can add more density. You can add it, make it a little bit more dense by changing a bit more, having a bit more honey in this meal and this meal here. But you can see for $100, guys, it goes a super, super long way. So that's some quick little meals there and a little bit of a meal breakdown for you guys. So you are on the way to a cheap and inexpensive bulk this winter. So you can get nice and jacked, but you're also gonna save your money. Hope you have an awesome week, guys, an awesome winter bulk. If you like this video and you found it informative, like, comment, and subscribe for more content.